I heard it was 15 million.
15?
I heard allegedly, I had heard the streets are saying that he had to sell some of his podcasts, fake his podcast shares, company to cash out.
Wow.
So she's part owner now?
Well, he did like to role play with her. I'm not allowed on his page. He blocked.
Mistake. You settled. And I'm gonna tell anybody who gets to that Shannon level, you gotta start banking on your audience. Your audience don't think you did none of that bullshit.
Okay, babe, buckle up because this Shannon Sharpe situation is giving scandal, shade, and a whole lot of secrets that ESPN clearly hoped would never see the light of day. But now, tea's spilling faster than they can clean it up. So picture this, 1 minute, Shannon's riding high, living his best life on ESPN's First Take beside Stephen A. Smith, looking like he just secured his ultimate glow-up. The next minute, his name gets yanked from ESPN's official website, like completely erased, no explanation, no statement, not even a thanks for your time. Just poof. Gone. And here's the gag, right around the exact same time Shannon's name disappears, a sealed $50 million lawsuit against him is suddenly wrapped up behind closed doors. Not a single headline, no trial, no cameras, nothing. Just a hush-hush dismissal with prejudice, aka, it's done, and nobody can legally bring it up again. But why the silence? Well, let's rewind a bit. Back in April 2025, a woman accused Shannon of some serious things: emotional abuse, manipulation, and even assault. She claimed she had audio receipts and came for him with a $50 million civil suit. Not criminal, but still devastating if proven. But instead of hiding out, Shannon hopped on his podcast and called the whole thing a straight-up shakedown. He said it was a messy relationship, sure, but mutual. Complicated, not criminal. Now while he was talking, ESPN? Oh, they went mute. Like dead silent. No public support, no defense, not even a generic, we're reviewing the matter. They just let him dangle. And before you knew it, Shannon vanished from their lineup like he never even existed. The weird part. No formal announcement, no farewell, no nothing, just like that, cut off. But baby, it gets worse. Right as his personal life was under fire, something even colder went down. Shannon's older brother Sterling was about to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Some breaking news out of the sports world now. ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and battery.
Mistake. You settled.
Friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup. Coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. But forgetting the suits that were made and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
They have not said how much he settled for, but if you guys remember in the beginning, Tony Busby had let us know that there was like $10 million offered when they were having a settlement conversation, and then Shannon Sharpe's attorney came out and mentioned that they offered a good amount of money because they were trying to keep the intimate details of this whole thing, contained. Private? Yes, private.
A once-in-a-lifetime moment for their entire family. And what does ESPN do? Drops the axe, not even 24 hours before the ceremony. Mind you, Shannon begged them to wait. Just let his brother have his moment, but nope, they pulled the trigger anyway, knowing full well the headlines would overshadow the whole thing. And that right there? That felt personal. You could hear the heartbreak in Shannon's voice when he talked about it on Nightcap. He wasn't mad they let him go, he gets it, it's business. But when they did it, that's what stung. It wasn't just cruel, it felt like a calculated hit. Like someone wanted to make sure he felt that pain right when his family should have been celebrating, and just when people were catching their breath. Boom, another skeleton tumbles out the closet. Reports surfaced that years ago, back when Shannon was still at FS1, a female staffer accused him of choking her during some kind of altercation. But unlike the recent lawsuit, that one never hit the public. No charges, no media frenzy, just a quiet behind-the-scenes settlement, rumored to be worth hundreds of thousands. His reps called it playful, but come on now, nobody's out here play fighting like that in a workplace. What are we doing? Now with two separate accusations, one fresh, one dusty, both ending in sealed settlements, ESPN's sudden silence starts to look a whole lot like strategic damage control. Like maybe they knew these receipts were about to pop and wanted to distance themselves before things really caught fire. And here's where things take a weird twist. There's talk of another woman, another Michelle, not the one Shannon was thirsting over on IG Live.
Done with Shannon Sharpe after bombshell. $50 million lawsuit with what was the 19-year-old girl? How old was she? Story 19, 20, 21-year-old girl? Something happened with the girl. She was a 19 or 20-year-old girl that he was hooking up with, or something happened. I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday. That I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting.
This is someone else entirely, and whispers say she may have her own story that hasn't come to light yet. So now the internet's in full detective mode. Some say ESPN iced Shannon out to protect their brand, others think they threw him under the bus to cover up a bigger mess inside their own house. And Shannon? Word on the street is he's not done. He's hinting at receipts. So let's go back to April, when the allegations against Shannon first dropped. You'd expect a media giant like ESPN to at least say something, right? A statement, a suspension, even one of those cold, "we're monitoring the situation" press releases. But nope. Not a word. Shannon's face stayed right there on their website, smiling like nothing was going on. His name still listed. His job still technically his. It was like the scandal didn't exist, like they just hit snooze on the drama. But what people didn't see is what was happening behind the curtain. While ESPN kept playing dumb, the cleanup started happening elsewhere. Stephen A. Smith, not an executive, not Shannon's boss, had to get on his own podcast and admit he personally spoke to someone at Disney to try and figure out what was going on. Like, imagine your coworker having to call the parent company because your employer won't even acknowledge the elephant in the room. So now here's where it really gets shady. After all that silent treatment, after ESPN kept his name up and pretended like they were standing by him, they wait until the lawsuit quietly disappears, sealed and dismissed, with zero public fallout. No courtroom drama, no verdict, nothing to legally tie their hands. Just like that, it's over. And then? That's when they make their move. Not during the chaos, not when it would have made headlines, but after. When nobody's paying attention. When the dust had settled. That's when Shannon's name vanishes from the ESPN roster, like a ghost. No public announcement. No statement. Just a stealthy little website update and boom, he's gone. And that's the part that hits different, because it tells you everything you need to know. They were never on his side. They weren't protecting him, they were protecting themselves.
Oh, hey. hanging in there.
You were thrown into a sex tape ordeal. I've spoken to sources that were close to Shannon Sharpe. I guess he was trying to dispel the gay rumors. Do you feel like that recording of him going live was real, or do you feel like he just used your name since he was with you for 10 plus years?
It's triggering. You gotta remember this was a very sensitive subject. The last time I saw him, he raped me.
20 plus years. I've been treated poorly a couple times. This didn't feel good. I'm not gonna.
Some breaking news out of the sports world now. ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and battery.
Mistake. You settled.
Friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup. Coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly from OnlyFans.
They were just buying time, waiting for the public to move on so they could clean house without getting dragged. And let's be real, they thought Shannon was gonna take it. Just roll over. They probably assumed he'd take whatever hush money was left in his contract, fade into the background, maybe post a vague quote about new chapters, and go quiet. But what they forgot is that Shannon Sharpe doesn't go quietly. That man is built out of grit, spine, and southern rage wrapped in designer drip. They should have known better. Because now, Shannon's out here not holding back. He's on Club Shay Shay throwing loaded looks, on Nightcap with that tight-lipped smirk like he's got stories that'll light a fire under the suits at ESPN. And let's be real, he probably does. This man's been around too long, in too many rooms, with too many powerful people saying the quiet part out loud. If he really starts talking? Phew. And he's not just mad. He's insulted. ESPN treated him like an extra when he was out here building their brand. The views, the clips, the cultural clout, that wasn't just Stephen A., that was Shannon bringing in a whole new audience, younger viewers, black viewers, viral moments. And they dropped him like dead weight the second it was convenient. And now, he's dangerous. Not just because he's mad, but because he's free. Free from contracts, NDAs, corporate muzzles. Free to say exactly what he saw, who said what, and how deep the rabbit hole goes. And from the way he's moving, he's not bluffing. See, they thought they were playing chess, but Shannon's been playing a whole different game. He let them think they got the last move. Meanwhile, he's out here with a mic in his hand, a fan base at his back, and options on the table. Babe, the lawsuit may be wrapped, but the revenge tour? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more messy truths and behind-the-scenes drama. Hit that bell so you don't miss a single drop, because when Shannon really starts talking, you'll want to be here front row. See you in the next one.